A soldier, an assassin, a gun for hire, a man with a troubled past, loss and betrayal. Today, fighters, we look into the dark and harsh history behind one of Dead or Alive's most iconic fighters. Let's meet Bayman. Who is Bayman? Not much is known about this mysterious person. Even his real name is unknown. For as long as he's made his deadly mark in the Dead or Alive universe, it has been Bayman. What we do know is that he was a former professional assassin trained in the art of command sambo. Sambo is a form of martial arts combining over 200 different types of fighting styles acquired over the rule of the Soviet Union and its neighboring nations. Its advanced techniques focus on an opponent's joints to effectively disarm them from being able to physically fight or defend themselves. This is definitely Bayman's signature style, and is executed with merciless precision during his fights, alongside extensive kicks, elbow, and knee strikes. While he made his first appearance in the arcade version of Dead or Alive, during Dead or Alive 2, he was made available by unlocking. He was embraced by the community, and has seen a return as a permanent fighter in every consecutive installment since. As with most things with Bayman, there's not a lot to go on for his past. What we do know is that he was born and raised in Russia, where he witnessed firsthand the death of his parents, gunned down in the street before his very eyes. Time passed, and Bayman grew into the highly trained commando we're more familiar with today. While he had a career as a special agent for many years, after being discharged, he took to the shadows to become a professional assassin, the thrill of the most difficult or high profile being his favorite. By good luck, or bad, Bayman lands the opportunity of a lifetime to become a hired assassin by Victor Donovan. His target? Fame Douglas, chairman of the Dead or Alive Tournament Executive Committee, or DOA5LR. Posing as an employee of DOA5LR with a fellow hired assassin, Christie, they hunted their prey, waiting for the right moment to strike. During this time came about the first Dead or Alive tournament, and as an intermediary job, Bayman and Christie were tasked with finding Kasumi, which would in turn lead Donovan's sights to Rydell. There are many projects umbrellaed under Donovan, and he needed access to as many top fighting contenders as possible. Bayman is unconvinced of Kasumi's ability to fight though, due to her small stature and young age. Christie, more aware of Kasumi's fighting prowess, baits Bayman into challenging her for her own amusement. Defeated, Bayman concedes to his overconfidence, learning now what it truly meant to be pitted against a true shinobi. Staying back from further fighting, Bayman takes his time and finds Fame Douglas vulnerable during the night of the tournament finals. With the use of a high-powered sniper rifle, Bayman took careful aim and succeeded in removing Fame from his seat of power and his life. Despite this, Bayman is left behind as the tournament draws to a close. Christie reveals the news of Fame's death to Donovan, stripping Bayman of his reward. After being almost assassinated himself by another sniper sent by Donovan in an attempt to tie up loose ends, Bayman swore revenge against Donovan for his treachery. When one door closes, another opens. Bayman was later approached by none other than Helena Douglas, Fame's daughter. She offers him employment under her with the goal of taking out Donovan himself. She knows Donovan wants Bayman dead, though not necessarily why, as well as working on an agenda to take over DOA5LR. She is willing to do whatever necessary to stop him. Not so easily won over with funds, Bayman challenges Helena to a fight to prove her strength. Helena succeeds, and Bayman agrees to be her bodyguard. At this point, Christie, who was undercover as one of Helena's personal assistants, reveals her plans to eliminate Helena. After catching wind of this though, Bayman captures Christie, informing her that Helena has become his sponsor. Within earshot, Kasumi A, one of the soldier creations of Donovan, hears of Helena and Bayman's goal to stop Donovan, essentially her father. At this point, Christie orders Kasumi A to attack alongside her, but fails in the assault. Christie managed to escape from her, but Helena's life was saved. Enter the 4th Dead or Alive tournament. The Mugen Tenshin Shinobis are attacking the Daotech Tri-Towers building. During the chaos, Bayman infiltrates the complex and is confronted by Christie, this time on her home turf. Bayman is bested in combat and as a result is captured. Caged and drugged, Bayman struggles against his captor's interrogation methods, but is given a moment of clarity after the attacking ninjas breaks the spiral. He uses all of his strength and will and stabs his own hand with a pen, using the resulting pain to help him gain focus and reduce the drug's effects. He's locked in the room though, his captors fleeing in the process. He must escape if he is to survive the destruction. During the struggle, he confronts Hayate during the catastrophe. We aren't exactly sure what happened, but both emerge from the ruins alive. Time passes, and the dust settles in Bayman's life. He feels redeemed in his efforts and ready to start a new life according to his own goals. Now enter the time of the 5th Dead or Alive tournament. Bayman has returned to the life as a gun for hire and takes a job in the Middle East with his assembled team. A figure, hooded and clothed in black, appears and attacks his team with precision. All are left dead, except for Bayman, who receives a set of scars across his face. Returning to Helena aboard the Freedom Survivor, he demands an explanation of the attack, it feeling all too familiar to the past. Helena denies any involvement or knowledge of the attack though, leaving Bayman to figure this one out for himself. Despite Bayman's success, Donovan is still alive and striking from the shadows with his puppet fighters. Bayman stumbles upon Kasumi, who is searching for Alpha 152, and decides to trail her to gather more information. While on his quest, he comes face to face with Hayate in the same area his team was attacked. Bayman challenges Hayate to a fight to learn more of the ninjutsu style that bested him in the first tournament against Kasumi. Zack interrupts the fight before it can finish though, telling them of a meeting with Helena. Hayate agrees to go, but Bayman refuses, because Zack just creeped him out. However, this could not be tolerated, and Zack challenged Bayman to a fight, but was quickly dispatched. He had far more important things to do, Bayman said, continuing his search for Alpha 152, convinced she was the one who attacked him and his dead comrades. Unaware of the fact that Phase 4 was actually the one responsible, Bayman follows the trails of the other fighters for more clues. Discovering Christie's presence on an oil rig, Bayman confronts her and her motives. He defeats her in combat, deciding to spare her life. He continues investigating, until running into Hayate and Ayane. Donovan is cunning, and would not stay in such a vulnerable place. Bayman breaks this news to the ninjas, and demands that Kasumi must accept a second challenge after his recent training with Hayate. Hayate steps in his way though, and bests Bayman in combat, convincing him to help them instead. With their combined effort, they were able to subdue Kasumi, only to realize that she was only another alpha clone, just far more developed and advanced, enough to convince them of her authenticity. Bayman uses more of his knowledge and tricks to help infiltrate further into the oil rig, and even to the laboratory within. At this point, Bayman has gotten the revenge he desired. His men could rest, knowing he did all he could, but decided that, in this endeavor, he had gone as far as he needed, and tells the ninjas that the rest is up to them. He takes his leave, returning to the shadows, as he always has. We don't know exactly where he is, but it's assumed he escaped well before the oil rig was destroyed in the ensuing conflict between the ninjas and the Alpha clones. And with that, fighters, now you know the fighter, Bayman. While he may have started out as a side character, he managed to dislocate and crack his way into our hearts. Sometimes, even the most secretive and calculating of people can have the biggest impact on a story's progression. Keep fighting, fighters.